all you slashaholics. Welcome to Slash Sisters. I'm Slash Sister Jen.
And that makes me Slash Sister Hallie, and we want to welcome you back to your favorite channel for horror movie reviews by true horror movie fans.
That's us and you. And if this is your first time here, welcome. What took you so damn long? Make sure you slash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of this stuff that we be doing over here on this channel. It's a lot.
This month
especially. But that's spooky season for you, right?
Yeah.
Good old October.
Right. Well, if you've been following along for the last couple of weeks, you will have known that we have already covered 2 separate timelines for the Halloween franchise.
Yep. Well, not this month, but technically 3 if you want to throw Season of the Witch in there. But we did that last year.
Yeah.
So, So far on the channel, we've covered 3 timelines. But, that's right, why don't we go ahead and take another hard reset and throw another timeline in here? What? Huh, Hallie?
I mean, we have to.
I mean, the franchise says we have to.
Fuck David.
I know.
I have problems with this trilogy that I did not realize I had until rewatching them recently, and we're gonna get into them when we get to each individual film.
We sure are.
But yeah, we're talking about the David Gordon Green led, Danny McBride written.
Yes. Danny McBride, as in like Eastbound
Bound and Down. Yes. Right. Pineapple Express.
Pineapple Express, Danny McBride.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Alien, Danny McBride.
He played in it.
Yes.
He played in Alien Covenant.
Yes.
But he did not write any part of that.
No.
And he was afraid that he wasn't going to get cast in that because of his comedic chops. So
understandably so.
Right. But if we're talking about the rebooted, not rebooted, but reset timeline of the 2018 Halloween.
So here we go. The very first film since Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, for John Carpenter to actually be involved.
And that is actually because of the fact that he sold out his rights and shares to Halloween to Mustafa Akkad.
Right.
Because after the debacle that was Halloween 2 and the failed anthology with Halloween 3, he wanted to wash his hands of it. He didn't want to be lumped into like creating a slasher or anything like that. They convinced him to come back primarily for this series as a composer. But since he was on
the music
set
in this whole series is so fucking good.
Well, this one, yes.
This one especially.
But
I think it's great through the whole thing.
But as a result of him being on set composing and everything like that, they also had him as a consultant.
Right.
And he also served as executive producer alongside Jamie Lee Curtis.
Right. Which is super exciting.
So let's see what happens when we ignore everything that's happened for the past 40 years. That is right, Halloween 2 no longer exists. Laurie is not his sister.
Yes. Very important to remember.
Right. And they actually address it in those
They do. In a really cute kind of way.
Right.
Too.
Right. But let's see what happens with the trauma that one person has experienced and dealt with and lived with for the past 40 years. Affects not only them, their family as a whole, and the whole society that surrounds them. Mm-hmm. Shall we?
I think we get more into that in the later movies, but it definitely shows up even right away in this first one.
Yeah.
So, we start our story with podcasters Aaron and Dana, who are going to Smith's Grove Sanitarium Psychiatric Hospital. It's called now. Smith's Grove Psychiatric Hospital.
Oh, did they? I didn't. I guess
it's not called Sanitarium anymore.
I mean, it's still the same fucking thing.
It is. To attempt to talk to the one and only Michael Myers, who has been at Smith's Grove for the past 40 years. 40 years.
I have a problem with that. And why the fuck are you moving him right around Halloween?
Dr. Loomis was the only one to see him in the wild, and he concluded he was nothing more than pure evil.
Because we wouldn't have a movie if they didn't.
Well, I personally, going back and rewatching this...
I mean, my issue is that we've now gotten to third timeline. How many times have they transferred this man? And every single fucking time, always gets out.
But that's the thing, because it's a different timeline,
it's a plot device.
They don't know he's going to escape.
No! But we're going to do it again anyways.
Exactly, because they don't know how to...
Because it's a Halloween movie.
They don't know how to start it without it.
No.
And God forbid he just be, wandering around for 40 fucking years in the desert.
like fucking Moses or something. Jesus.
I know I went biblical with that reference, but I'm glad she got that. So this, as we've stated, ignores Halloween 2 and is a direct sequel to Halloween 1978, meaning that everything that we've covered for this entire month is now null and void.
Yep. Just ignore everything we've said for the last few weeks. Just go.
Well,
right.
no, don't ignore it.
No, don't ignore it.
Don't ignore it. In fact,
Y'all
go
have been
back.
loving it, actually. I mean, it seems like it's doing really well.
I was gonna say, in fact, go back and rewatch some of them.
Watch more,
please. We need the views.
Yeah, we do. We love the views. But meaning, after the events of the first movie, instead of going on his second killing spree, where he goes after Laurie and they go to the hospital and all of that, he was captured and has been at Smith's Grove ever since. And never been moved once in that whole time, too.
So these stupid-ass podcasters attempt to elicit a response from Michael by showing him the mask that he wore in 78, saying that they got it from the state's attorneys because they are just, they're trying to elicit something out of him.
Yeah,
anything.
And this whole getting that mask from the state's attorney, we just, give out evidence in a murder case.
To podcasters.
What? What the fuck?
I mean, I could understand viewing the evidence.
Yeah, sure.
But
they're just like, oh, here you go. You can have it. It's no big deal. We don't need this. What? Anyways, this whole thing only just causes all the other inmates out in this big chest square yard.
And now my question is, why? Why did they fucking freak out with the mask being
I don't
out?
know. It kind of gives me I know that we're not... Okay. We're led to believe in this trilogy that there is nothing supernatural about Michael.
There has to be.
Why
He
the
survived
fuck?
6 shots to the chest.
Thank you. And this man...
Not to mention,
then
and when we get
survives
to
a
it,
whole
kills.
hell of a lot more, too.
Yeah, what happens to him in Kills.
Exactly. And what happens to him at the end of this movie? I mean, honestly. Anyways, we're led to believe that there's nothing supernatural about him, but there clearly is something supernatural about him.
There has
Enough to be able to affect the psyche of all of the other inmates that are out on that yard.
Right.
Because they start freaking out.
No, they do. Theo Woe! Theo Woe!
Yeah! Yeah.
Say something!
Next, we see the podcasters in Haddonfield, Illinois, driving up to a heavily fortified house, apparently belonging to our true Scream Queen, Laurie Strode.
Yeah! They bribe her with $3,000 for an interview. And she allows them to come into her compound, which literally that place is a compound.
Yeah, and I'm still frustrated with what they did with her over the course of this trilogy.
Me too. But she's fucking badass in this one.
Right.
So there's that.
We find out through the podcasters that Laurie still lives in fear and drinking heavily. Where have we seen that one before?
H2O? Oh, yeah, I am quite thirsty, but I've got my own. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry, you guys.
Not every joke is gonna land, okay?
But I'm laughing about it. It's still funny, even if it was a bad joke.
But we also find out that in this compound, she very seldom leaves it.
Yeah, she's basically like a recluse.
She's a hermit.
Yeah.
She's a fucking hermit in the middle of the woods.
Which,
It's not... As we find out in the next film, it's technically not in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
But she does have a neighbor that lives close enough to smell the house burning.
Yeah. Anyways, she has a terrible relationship with her daughter Karen, who was taken away from her when Karen was like 12 years old. Yeah, the state came in and took away from
Which I'm curious to know that circumstances.
Me too. I really like
why
the backstory
she
of
was
that.
taken away. Like, what led to them investigating Laurie to find out? Okay, this bitch is unstable and cannot raise a child.
Yeah. Probably, I would assume Karen was probably talking
at school. Yeah, that's about the only thing that I can piece together. But I would have loved to.
I would have loved to
seen a flashback of them taking her.
Me too. That would have been interesting.
Next, we get to meet Laurie's daughter and her family, including Karen's husband Ray and their daughter Allison. And Karen.
The introduction to Ray is so hilarious.
Oh man,
I got peanut butter on my penis.
But I love the fact that Karen is played by
Judy Greer.
Right.
I love her so much. I feel like she's kind of underutilized in this movie, though. I don't think she acts up to her normal quality acting.
Well, she's a comedic actor.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
All right, Laurie over there chugging your whiskey.
Allison, Laurie's granddaughter, tries to maintain some kind of relationship with Laurie. But Karen is pretty much unaware of that. Like, she has no idea that they're in communication.
No, she has absolutely, because Allison asked her if you asked.
Yeah, did you invite grandmother to come to dinner tonight?
And she's like, I did, but she just can't make it.
Yeah,
that's not the case.
Yeah. Karen has her reasons for keeping distance, though. I don't blame her.
I don't blame her.
I think you have to.
I don't
have some
blame
kind of boundaries, but also lying to your child is not the right thing to do either.
I don't blame Karen for keeping distance with Laurie, but to forbid Allison to have any contact with Laurie is
unfair.
It's unfair, and in the state of Illinois, which we live in, Haddonfield is set, grandparents do have rights.
They have rights to visitation, but they have no rights to any kind of
not parenting, but I mean,
right.
They can take their kids to court to get rights. Though.
True, but there has to be proof that grandparent has been a part of the child's life to begin with, and it would be a detriment to the child if the grandparent wasn't involved in their life. I know this experience. Anyways,
as we've seen in past films, on the night of October 30th, Michael is being transferred. But the transport crashes. Because of course it does. And I'm still convinced, and knowing how this film plays out, that fucking doctor orchestrated the crash.
Oh, he had to have caused the crash
Michael
somehow.
free.
Well, we know that. But he had to, I don't know how he could have orchestrated that crash, but he had to have had some kind of hand in it somehow.
Right.
They don't show anything. But whether that be that he stood up and grabbed the wheel or something, he caused that crash some way. I'm not sure how, but he definitely caused that
He caused the crash some way and let Michael get out along with the other inmates.
Yeah.
Or patients.
Yeah, because we find out, I mean, we're already talking about it now, but, like, we find out later that he wants to see him in the wild. So, anyways, a kid and his dad drive up onto this scene with inmates wandering out on the road, which honestly, like, very, very reminiscent of part one when, like, Marion and Loomis pull up to the sanitarium and, like, everybody's out, like, wandering outside of Smith's Grove. So, like, yeah, very,
wait. I thought this was Illinois, not Iowa.
Right. Right.
Idiots out wandering around?
Anyways, so the dad gets out of the truck to go and, like, see what's going on, and then the kid ends up getting out too, and it's just, yeah.
It's a whole mess.
Yeah.
It's a whole mess. After accidentally shooting Dr. Sartin, that he is the
Don't shoot!
predecessor to
Loomis's protege, I guess you could say. He, like, took over after Loomis died, and...
Right, and has been
his doctor,
Michael, for the past however many years since Loomis is
death. Yeah, I'm not sure that they even talk about when Loomis died.
No, I don't think they do. Who just had to come along on the...
He just had to come along, right? On the
no.
bus. I spelled it wrong.
You were fucking high. She typed
I
bud
typed this
instead
shit
of
up
bud.
like a week ago. I don't even know.
Bud instead of bus.
Bus, yeah.
You were fucking stoned.
Literally.
You were blitzed.
Sorry.
Anyway. So no, he his reasoning was, I have been Michael's patient for X number of years. He's still in my care until he's transferred.
I'm going to see him until...
I'm going to see it through.
Yeah.
Right. That was his reasoning.
Right.
So yeah, the kid accidentally shoots him.
Yeah.
Which
it was totally an accident, but that kid was, like, trigger happy. He, like, comes onto the bus with his hand on the trigger, like, as soon as he sees somebody, pow! Like, doesn't even take a chance to look and see who is there. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
And for the first time ever, and I do mean ever, we see Michael actually kill a kid.
Yeah. Like, I think this kid's meant to be like maybe a teenager, but he's young.
He is
I think he looks like 12 or 13. Yeah.
He's at oldest 12.
Yeah. And he like snaps the kid's neck too. Like it is.
I love the conversation that the kid and the dad have. You know, I don't mind going on with you.
I want to be in dance class.
But I'm missing dance class right now.
I enjoy it, but I'm missing dance class for this.
I know.
If that's not a social commentary on today's political landscape and everything like that, I don't know what is.
I love it. Anyways, on the morning of October 31st, Michael sees Aaron and Dana visiting his sister Judith's grave.
Dun, dun, dun.
He's watching. He's watching.
He's
coming for you.
He follows them to a gas station, which, if you pay close attention, you will actually see him in the background walk into the mechanic's shop and kill. Well, we don't see him kill the mechanic.
Yeah, but you see him.
You know that's what he's doing.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
He needs to get them classic coveralls.
You've got to complete his look, you guys.
Right. But he murders the mechanic and takes his coveralls, starting to complete the look, and he just needs one more thing at this point.
One more thing, and wouldn't you know it, Dana and Aaron happen to have it. He follows Dana into the bathroom.
This is, speaking as a woman.
Yes.
Sitting on a stall.
Yes.
And you have somebody come in and drop teeth. Loose, bloody teeth in front of you.
I would freak the fuck out, which she does.
She does, rightfully so.
Yeah.
But I think I would have tried to climb over the stalls instead of going under.
Me too. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Even as a big girl, like I feel
I would have fucking tried it.
I mean, shit. But yeah, so Aaron, he does like kind of start to like try to come through and attack her, but then Aaron comes in because he hears her screaming, and he makes very quick work of Aaron. Basically, just bashes his head into the wall, killing him
with a tire iron.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because Aaron brings the tire iron in to defend himself, and he just like quickly takes that away. Like, nah, that's mine. So yeah, and then he goes to retrieve his mask.
Yeah, he gets in their trunk, gets the mask, puts it on very nonchalantly, like, in front of other people, mind you.
Yeah.
Gets in their car and takes off. So after 40 years, Michael's loose on the streets of Haddonfield.
We got him back, baby! Let's see what Michael's gonna do. Laurie, while drinking coffee one morning, hears about the bus crash that morning.
Was it actually
coffee? Yeah, probably whiskey. Who knows? She hears about the bus crash and heads straight to Karen's house to warn them by, I don't know, breaking into their house, I guess.
Gotcha! Jesus.
You're dead.
That scene.
Bang! You're dead.
That scene is fucking hilarious, though. Karen,
oh my God.
Karen basically tells her mom, "Look, bitch, you're crazy. Get the fuck out of my house. Don't come back until you've seen help."
Yeah. That night, at the school Halloween party, Allison, who her and Cameron, her boyfriend Cameron, they go as Bonnie and Clyde. Gender bent Bonnie and Clyde. So she went as Clyde and he went as Bonnie. It was a cute costume. I thought it was adorable. Anyways, but she ends up catching him kissing another girl. Yeah. What a twat.
Yep. Twat waffle.
Yes.
He tries to defend himself, but ends up throwing her phone in a bowl of... Was it queso?
It was a queso. It was something.
It
some
like
kind of
pudding
thick sauce
or
of some sort.
And she storms off, leaving with his friend Oscar.
Which Oscar is like, he has the perfect amount of comedic relief for this. Like, there's a lot of kind of funny people in this movie. Like, we didn't really mention it. Like, when she's walking with her friends, we did talk about how they like nonchalantly talk about how Laurie's not his sister.
I think it's Cameron said that wasn't
it her brother who like cold-blooded mutilated all those teenagers?
No, that's just a bit that some people made up to make him feel better, I think.
Which the bit was started by John Carpenter.
It sure was.
Well, that was also started in an alcoholic dazed fuse. Alcoholic fused daze.
Fueled.
I'll get there.
Dazed.
Yeah.
One of those. Yeah. One of those words. Something like that.
You know what? Fucking words are hard. Okay.
They are. Anyways, yeah. So meanwhile, Allison's best friend Vicky and her boyfriend.
He shows up.
He shows up. Yes, she's like babysitting this kid. Which Julian?
I know you talking about smoking weed. Don't lie to me. That's against the rules. I'm telling my mom.
He's a fucking gag.
Fucking
I love
hilarious.
this kid.
That kid is so funny. He calls her out like. What did she say? What was the euphemism she used for smoking weed?
Can't remember.
Whatever she said, I can't remember what she said, but he's like, I know you talking about smoking weed. And she's like, just looks at him like, shit. You know, like, how did you know that? But like, I mean, kids are smart. Yeah, so.
If I had some other kind of babysitter, she'd be reading me a story. I wouldn't be up clipping my nasty ass toenail.
Lots of cute little interactions between the two of them, and then her boyfriend does show up, and like,
he's a douche.
Yeah.
He's a douche.
Yeah.
He gets on a fucking motorcycle, revs it up, and knocks the damn thing over. If that was my motorcycle, I would have killed that.
Yeah.
After Julian claims there's someone in his room, Vicky goes upstairs to check and is promptly executed by Michael Myers.
Yep.
Who was hiding in Julian's closet.
Yeah. Which this whole scene's really cute too, because she goes up there and she's like, "Oh, somebody's gonna get me. There's totally someone in your closet." And then she like opens the closet and there's.
Well, no, she tries to shut the door and it won't shut. And then she opens it, and that's when Michael gets her. Well, he attacks her and brutally murders her in front of Julian.
Yeah. Who actually she screams at Julian to run, and he runs.
And he lives.
Thank God.
Might be the first black man to actually live in a
You
horror
know.
film. I mean, no, it's not the first.
Well,
but
he's a kid too. So.
he's a kid. But Michael has. We've
know,
established Michael has killed kids, which annoys me to no fucking end when we get to ends.
Yeah, but yeah, then he kills Vicky's boyfriend. Doesn't he like stab him through and pin him to the wall like he did with Bob in the first movie?
Not sure.
I can't really remember. I've watched so many Halloween movies in the last few weeks that some of them are blending.
They're all fucking blending. Next, we are introduced to Deputy Frank Hawkins. No, not Hawkins, Indiana.
Yeah, Frank.
Oh God, what is this actor's name?
I can't think.
Will
of it.
Patton.
Yeah,
Will Patton.
He's so great in these movies.
He is great in everything that he's done, but he's never been a star. He's always been a
kind of a character actor.
Right.
Yeah, like
he did like Armageddon. He
Right.
did the short-lived Swamp Thing series that was on TV for a little bit.
He's never been like the main.
He's
star.
never been like the star. He was in The Punisher too.
Oh yeah.
He was John Travolta's right-hand man in The Punisher.
That's right.
But he was on the scene and was one of the arresting officers for Michael in 1978. He and Laurie overhear the incident on the radio and go over to the house.
Yes.
Well, he goes over there and runs
Laurie
into
follows.
Laurie.
Yeah.
Because Laurie is observing everything because she knows that Michael's going to break out on this prison transport. How the fuck she knows, we don't know, but...
Well, at this point, the transport's already crashed, and he's loose.
But she knows she was also there.
Right.
Watching as the prison bus left and everything like that. So, like, she knew it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
How? I'm still baffled, unless there's some type of connection.
I don't
Brothers!
Though. There's not, though. Or at least they don't make it like that. Anyways, Laurie sees Michael for the first time in 40 years. And she shoots at him. But it turned out to be a mirror. And it was his reflection in the mirror. So he's able to get away before Laurie or Hawkins can get to him.
Mm-hmm. The police take Laurie, Karen, and her husband Ray to Laurie's house for protection. Let's face it, that is actually probably one of the safest fucking places to be.
Even the police know it.
I mean, it seems like Frank.
At least Frank, yeah.
Frank is very much aware of the life that Laurie has led because it's hinted at here, but it's definitely established in the next two films that there is kind of like a dichotomy between them. Yes,
something.
yes. Like Frank's always had feelings for Laurie, even though Laurie married somebody else and had a kid with somebody else.
Right. Apparently she was married. No, that was in another.
That was
movie
in a
where
different
she was married
one.
a couple of times. Good
Right.
Lord, Jenny, stop.
Okay, but
timelines. They get so messy. We're towards the end.
we're closing in. But the police know that it's just more equipped to handle what Michael can throw at anybody than what the police can. Because let's face it, Haddonfield police isn't exactly up to snuff.
No.
We've established in different timelines that Michael has killed every single Haddonfield police officer, sheriff, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yep. He's just gone. Especially in the Jamie Lloyd timeline. Multiple times kills all the police.
Murders everybody.
So they do take her. They take them, but like they can't get a hold of Allison because her phone's currently in a bowl of pudding or queso or whatever, some kind of thick substance. Dr. Sartin persuades Sheriff Barker though to help basically get everybody on the hunt for Michael. Very reminiscent of Dr. Loomis.
I want to know what he's feeling. I want to know what pleasure he gets out of killing.
Mind you, he's still nursing a bullet wound, yes. But he still takes the charge, and we gotta go after Michael.
Because he needs to see him in the wild.
Next, we see Allison and Oscar walking home.
Allison, you're the coolest, you're the prettiest, and you're the nicest girl in school. And if anyone doesn't appreciate that, they're a crazy person.
Thank you. It's very sweet.
And after Oscar attempts to make out with Allison, to which Allison was like, ew.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You deserve better, right?
Like, doesn't she kick him in the nuts too? She at least she
pushes him away of some kind, right? Yeah. But I felt sorry for Oscar. Yes,
I did too because
he was drunk, stoned, whatever.
Right.
All these girls are like dancing on me. Their beautiful bodies got me all chubbed out, Allison.
And he's a really sweet kid, and he seems really fun. I mean, he's funny, and he's just like, I think his excuse that it was a lot of alcohol and whatever. Like, yeah, okay. I do feel bad for him, but like,
have you ever really liked a girl and you just couldn't have her?
Don't kiss somebody without their permission.
Right. Well, he thought that she was sending him signals, and in an inebriated state, I could see where that would be misconstrued.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
She ends up walking away from his butt, and Michael promptly kills him. And
breaks my heart.
And
because I love Oscar.
And impales him on a wrought iron fence through the.
Oh, what a way to go! Again, I'm gonna mention Shaun of the Dead.
Brutal fucking. No, not Shaun of the Dead. Not Shaun of the Dead. Hot fuck.
Yeah, well, don't worry. There's plenty of ice cream at the station.
Oh, it is Hot Fuzz! Why do I want to think it is Shaun of the Dead? It is
Hot Fuzz. This Willie Hunt!
Sorry.
Who, I don't know if you know this, that actor was Timothy Dalton. A fucking Bond!
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, anyway, sorry. So, Hawkins and Sartain rescue Allison. Who found Oscar's body and obviously freaked the fuck out. Deputy Hawkins tries to kill Michael. They see Michael, but Dr. Sartain stops him.
I love what Frank says here. He's like, it doesn't mean I'm not gonna put a bullet through this motherfucker's head.
Mm-hmm, yep. But Dr. Sartain has become obsessed with Michael, and like we've been mentioning, wants to see him in the wild, to observe him on a killing spree. So he stabs Hawkins in the neck with his pen thing.
It's like a pen knife or something, like, because he pulls it out, like clicks it, and then this blade extends out from it.
And he stabs him in the fucking neck and leaves Hawkins to just bleed out on the ground. So we think. But he leaves him to bleed out.
As we've mentioned, it is then at this point revealed that Sartain has orchestrated Michael's full escape and everything like that.
And like we said, I'm certain he caused that crash. He had to have.
So then he loads up Michael's unconscious body in the back seat of Hawkins' police car.
With Allison in the back seat with him.
And proceeds to drive to Laurie's house.
Yeah, and he gives this whole exposition about wanting to see him in the wild and all this crap and blah, blah, blah. But then Michael wakes up. You know? He does. And shit, I don't know. Does he kill him in the car?
Yes.
Yeah. Like while they're driving, right?
No. He injures him because he pushes like the grate through with his feet or whatever.
That's right.
Smashes him against the wheel. Sartain gets out, and then Michael fucking curb stops him.
Yeah!
Say something.
Shit is brutal, and
that was a brutal fucking kill.
It gets more brutal throughout the rest of this little trilogy as well, you guys. So,
Allison flees, somehow managing to end up in Laurie's backyard. Which, if this is a secure compound, how the fuck did she get in there?
That's what I want to know too. Anyways, Michael then kills the 2 police officers stationed outside of Laurie's house.
In such a cool way.
Oh my gosh.
When they were revealed to be dead.
So we got to talk about this really quick. So one of the police officers...
Buying me a sandwich.
No, the one with the pudding. and the chocolate.
Fresh brownie.
Okay.
Chocolatey homemade brownie. I made that myself.
That's like what a 5-year-old would eat if they could make their own lunch.
The brownie, right.
Okay, so that man is actually, his name's Chris. I can't think of what his last name is. He's the one who did all the practical special effects.
Oh, really?
He's also the one who made his own head to sit in the lap of the other police officer.
I don't know that I can make my own severed head.
I think I could. I think it'd be really kind of fun.
I mean, I would love the attempt to. Please,
right.
Tom Savini, let us in your school.
Yes, please. But yeah, this guy who did the special effects on this, he's fantastic. He also did the special effects on the Rob Zombie ones as well.
Okay, cool.
He's also the one who did all of the practical special effects on Ice Nine Kills' the work of art video.
Bruh.
Just saying. He's carrying a cross. She don't like it. It's okay. Anyways, so yeah, this Ray ends up like coming out and finding the 2 officers, and it's basically like, oh my god, like he starts freaking out, and then
wouldn't you freak out if you see an officer with a throat slash holding the head of the severed head of another officer
that's been turned into a jack-o'-lantern.
Jack-o'-lantern via flashlight.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Cool. I'd freak the fuck out too.
Pretty cool.
But
he strangles him.
Yeah, to death. Mm-hmm. Because you can strangle somebody and not kill him.
Yes, it's true.
Michael goes into the house and begins to try to make his way in. He breaks through the glass in the front door, grabbing Laurie by the head and slamming her into the door.
Yeah, like, okay, I'm sorry, but Laurie, you are smarter than that. Why would you have just regular glass on your front door where somebody could just smash that in?
You know, I'm not saying that it was regular glass, but it could have been some type of, like, bulletproof glass.
Yeah, and Michael's just, like,
and Michael's strong enough to fucking break through it, regardless.
Sure.
Before Michael can get into the house, though, Laurie does blow off these 2 fingers via shotgun blast.
Yeah. Bye, fingers.
So
those can't come back.
So now Michael is officially mangled.
Yeah.
For the first time.
About damn time. Shit.
It only took 40 fucking years.
Yeah. So.
But he does eventually get in though.
Yeah, and after like a hell of a struggle through the house, Laurie basically kind of like meticulously goes through each room, locking off the rooms and kind of corralling him to where she wants him to go.
Right, because even if he was in one of those rooms and after she cleared it, by closing those iron gates
trapped.
or what, he would be trapped in that room.
Right.
Michael makes it to the safe room door where a scared Karen is waiting with her rifle, and it's actually the rifle that she used when she was a child.
Yeah,
I saw the engraving on it, KS, with like a lightning bolt or whatever. Yeah. As Michael approaches, she's actually whimpering here first, begging for.
I can't do it.
And as soon as Michael gets the fucking island, because it's an island over the basement door, off its hinges and everything.
I can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't do it!
Gotcha. Thing. She's like, gotcha, and pops him in the face.
Right in the cheek.
Happy Halloween, Michael.
Yeah. Awesome. Great. Laurie then, with the help of really all 3 of the girls, Allison and Karen as well, they trap Michael down in the basement, and they pull this, like, lever that...
Right.
Basically makes it a cage.
Right. To which Karen tells Allison, it's not a house. This isn't a safe room, Allison. It's a trap.
Yep. The whole house is a trap. Because she has gas rigged in every single room to set fire.
So she flips a switch or whatever. These like propane burners ignite and gas is filling in and everything like that. And then she lights a flare and drops it down through these bars like crisscross and close off the opening into the safe room, basement, whatever. Effectively igniting the entire house, which burns with Michael inside, and they leave.
That's it. So yeah, they end up catching a ride on a truck. Somehow they flag somebody down and they get a ride to get Laurie to the hospital because she's been stabbed in the stomach at this point.
Yes, brutally,
pretty badly wounded. But yeah, so then as they like cut back to the house and they show the basement and Michael's not standing where he was standing before. And according to Wikipedia, there's a post-credit scene. I didn't know this.
I fast-forwarded through it. If there's a post-credit scene, it's literally just him breathing and they don't show anything.
That's all it is. It's just him breathing.
Because I watch a lot of stuff on my Vudu because I have digital copies of it. And I fast-forward
I watch
through
it
the
on
credits.
my Vudu too.
I fast-forward through the credits because if I don't, it's not queued up and ready to start at the beginning next time I go to watch that film. But if there's ever a post-credit scene, I always stop and rewind it back so I can see what it is.
Yeah, so I guess it's just him breathing, indicating that Michael is still alive.
Obviously he's still alive. We got 2 more films to get through.
Yeah, but at the end of this movie, in 2018, we didn't know that. The next 2 movies were not
because there was no guarantee that they were going to make another one.
Yeah. So really, they could have left it at this.
And I wish they fucking would have.
Yeah, me too.
It would have been a great end to a great story.
Shit gets a little weird in the second one, which honestly, like, it's a little weird, but it's also like really brutal and kind of awesome.
It's not as weird as the third one, and we're gonna get to those here very soon. But first, we're gonna get this one the fuck out of here.
Bye
bye. Set up the light again. So obviously, if you've been following along, you know what's coming up next.
We're gonna see if how many people Halloween can kill.
I believe James A. Janice with Dead Meat and Kill Count counted about 30 plus people, which I think is the highest body count Michael's ever had in the film.
Yep. It's a biggin'.
So come back here in a few days' time when we cover Halloween Kills on the rated version.
Yeah. So make sure you slash that subscribe button.
Stab that like button.
You know what? Before we do that, do you think maybe we should give it a bloody machete up or down? Because I think we totally forgot that part.
I mean, yeah, you know. Whatever.
What are we doing? 2 bloody machetes up, definitely. A bloody knife up. You get a machete, I get a knife. There we go.
And yes, I know that this is Jason's machete. Yes, I pronounced it the right way, machete.
Machete.
Shut up over there, producer. Don't make me use this machete on you.
A bloody machete and a bloody kitchen knife straight to the sky for this one. I love this one. I think it's great. Of the 3 in the trilogy, it is the strongest.
It is the strongest out of the 3 in this trilogy.
Laurie's a fucking badass in this one.
This next one is by far the most brutal one, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll get into that in a few days. And until then, make sure you slash the subscribe button.
Stab that like button.
And ring-a-ling the grave bell so you don't get buried alive and you keep up to date with all our new videos.
Until then, Slashaholics, we will see you all
in the afterlife.
Damn straight.